So, things are changing a lot for me in December, as I'm going to be packing up and moving house. Something I'd been hoping to do for a while, but had to put on hold due to the pandemic and resultant lockdowns. Well, now it's all moving forwards, and potentially this means in 2021 I'll actually be able to set up my video camera and record videos, rather than resorting to doing this voiceover method of making videos. As for my reading, well, November was another bad month for me. Looking back over my diary, I had 5 migraines in 1 month. Though, at least one of those was self-inflicted by staying up to watch the election coverage. I've not followed through with my medications as well as I should, largely because of the migraines and the fatigue that follows. So I've fallen behind there, and naturally the lack of medication meant that all my pain intensified and my fatigue got worse. It's a vicious cycle, and one I'm genuinely struggling to break. It's currently the 3rd of December at the time of recording, and I'm hoping to have this video up today, but I had another migraine earlier today, and I've spent most of this in bed, so chances are I'm not actually going to be able to edit this video today, so it'll probably be up on the 4th, maybe the 5th. I do, however, want to get more reading done, and one of the ways that I'm hopefully going to achieve this is by spending significantly less time at my computer or online in general. I think the lack of time at a screen will help to mitigate the migraines a little. There's still a buddy read in December, and I fully intend to take part, but I'll be honest right now. My last 3 TBRs that I've posted have shown my inability to really keep up. I suspect December will be the same. So I'll continue to post my TBRs, but I'm going to treat them more like a wish list of books that I hope to get to, rather than a mandated list of books that I need to get to. Still, other people on the Discord are reading along with these buddy read books, so if you're interested in them and want to read along, then please do join us. The link will be in the description below. One word of warning though, there's been a slight issue on the Discord where new members are appearing to get booted within minutes of joining. This isn't being done by me or the moderators. We don't know why it's happening, but if you join our Discord and find yourself removed from the server in the first couple of minutes, please rejoin. We're excited to see new people take part, so this glitch is really quite a pain in the arse. And it does seem to be driving people away, but there's still an active and welcoming community there, and new people are always made to feel welcome, so please don't be discouraged. It doesn't appear to happen once you've made a few posts, so we think it's some kind of spam filter or bot filter that's catching new people. But moving on to the books themselves, we have 3 books winning our buddy read this month, with more than a dozen people voting. We plan for usually between 300,000 and 400,000 words for our buddy read, so normally that will be 2 books, but if the first 2 books that win are less than 300,000 words combined, we add a 3rd book. This month we had 3 books. The first book is Northern Lights by Philip Pullman, also known as The Golden Compass in USA and some other countries, though that version is a censored version, so if you want the full unedited version, you want to make sure to pick up Northern Lights. This was our runaway winner in the polls, and it's a fantasy originally aimed at children, but with a strong subtext and commentary on religion and philosophy, so adult readers should get a fair bit from it. It's one I'm excited to get to and really do hope to find the time for. It's one I did try reading earlier this year, but for various reasons it didn't gel with me at the time. I just wasn't in the right mood for it, so I ended up DNRing. But I would like to get back to it because I've heard some great things about this series. The second book for our buddy read is The Never-Ending Story by Mikhail Ender. Someone suggested in the Discord that we make December a theme month, and the theme they recommended was childhood nostalgia. Everyone seemed to like that on the Discord, so the votes went in that direction. Naturally, my nomination for the month was The Never-Ending Story, and while it didn't get as much excitement as Northern Lights, I'm glad to see that people wanted to give it a shot. This is going to be a reread for me, obviously. It's an old favourite, so hopefully I'll be able to enjoy this and relax without my health getting in the way. I'm really excited to see what people on the Discord think of this book, and I'm excited to see what I think of it now as an adult, as it's been years since I've read it. I'm hoping I still love it as much as I always did, but if I don't get round to this, at the very least, it'll be nice to share one of my favourite books with people on the Discord. The third and final book for this month's buddy read is Halo: The Fall of Reach by Eric Nyland. Apparently we have quite a few gamers who are also readers on our Discord, and they like to make me feel like a damn pensioner because they read this when they were a kid, apparently. I was already an adult when this book came out. I was already an adult when the first Halo game came out. So this is not really nostalgia for me. Still, I hear great things about the Halo books. Apparently they are much more in-depth than the games, story-wise. Supposedly they make a decent quality pulp sci-fi story, way above what you'd expect for a video game tie-in book. We'll see what I make of it. I'm not one to dismiss books based off an existing property. After all, I really enjoy the Star Trek books, and they're pretty much the same thing. So, maybe it's as good as people claim. We'll find out. Outside of my Discord community, I also watch a few other booktubers and follow their channels. In the new year, I intend to follow along with Mike's book reviews and try the Malazan series read-along, which is one I'm really looking forward to. I already have the first 5 books. They are quite an intimidating sight, so I've not started them yet. I was considering giving myself a bit of a head start and starting this first book early in December, but I'm unlikely to find the time, if I'm honest. Another channel I follow, Owen J. Wall, is doing a buddy read for The Poppy War, which is intriguing. It's a book I do own already and one I'd like to take part in, but realistically I'm not going to have the time, I don't think. Another buddy read that I've heard about that I was considering joining was Red Rising, but again, I'm not going to have the time. These are all books I would like to find the time to read, but I'm being realistic here. They're not going to even get opened. If I have a really good month and find that I'm reading every day, I may pick one of these up towards the end of the month. But let's face it, we're also going to have Christmas, and that's probably going to be a few days where I don't read much, because I'm going to be spending it with family. So those are my buddy read books for December. I will try to get to them. However, with my situation, I'm still barely chomping my way through the November buddy reads, and those were books I was especially excited for. So, given that, my current main read is The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss. I'm still a little under halfway through this book, and I'm really enjoying it. It's a fantastic read. It's really emotional, it's beautifully written, and it's far less of a challenging read than I thought it would be. It's very much a comfort read. I suspect if I can get a pace on this, I could finish it quite quickly, as I didn't even start this until midway through November because of how bad I was feeling in the early half of the month. So I could get through this in a week if my health allowed me to, but I'm not going to rush it and end up ruining it for myself. The second buddy read of last month was Leviathan Wakes, the first book in the Expanse series, and I can already say this is a story I am absolutely loving. While I was unable to read much of the book, I was at least able to watch the show, and it's fantastic. I will say though, I already prefer the book. There's a little more subtlety to the book compared to the TV show, even though the show is very, very close to the book. It slows down the action a little bit, and the atmosphere sinks in just that little bit more for me. I loathe to become one of those arseholes that always claims the book is better than the show, or the book is better than the film, especially when they're so very similar in this case. But I do think that the book is where it's at, for me at least. I'm only a few chapters in on this one, didn't actually pick it up until the last week of November, so if I'm well enough to read, again, I could read this in a week. I just need to be consistently well enough to actually read it. I didn't pick this up until 3 days before the end of November, and I'm already a reasonable way through it. As I said, November was a bad month for me reading-wise. I barely read. In fact, I don't think I read anything for about the first 10 days. Other books on my TBR from last month included carrying on with the Death Note manga and reading the second Policy series book, Shadow of the Scorpion. I didn't even open these two books, so they're officially coming off the TBR for now. I already have 5 books above to work through, and that's not counting the buddy reads that other channels are doing that I'm considering joining along. So adding these two would be disastrous. I'm never going to reach them. I do want to return to the Policy series soon though, so hopefully I can get myself into a reading routine and fly through these books, as they're barely bigger than novellas if I'm being honest. One book I did manage to find the time to read in November was Full Moon, the second book in the Dresden Files. In fact, I will probably have this finished by the time this video is uploaded, as I intend to finish it off probably tomorrow. I have about 70 pages to go at the time of writing, and I own the audiobook, so if I'm not feeling up to reading, I can simply put the audiobook on and have it playing whilst I'm lying in bed. Honestly though, unless the ending of this one turns it around dramatically, this is going to be a bad review. I found this book disjointed and unremarkable, and some of the plot actively annoys me. The thing is, the setting, some of the build-up, the lore about the werewolves, the action scene in the police station, they were so very well done. I want to like this series. Dresden Files feels like a series I should enjoy, and I'm told this book is the series' low point, and that it just gets better and better from here. So I'm holding out hope that this series will improve, but honestly, if I hadn't been told that the series gets better, this would be the reason I stopped reading. This book was not very good at all. Let's hope the ending can turn it around. If the ending's good enough, it might just scrape a 3-star. So that's my plan for December and how I intend to end the year of 2020, when it comes to reading at least. Will I get through all of these books? Hell no. As much as it pains me to say this, I'll likely never be especially well read in the genres I love if this is the speed I'm reduced to whilst reading. I'm lucky to get through 1 or 2 books a month now, and it's infuriating. I will be looking into altering my medication in the near future, but in all honesty, no doctor can assess if it works because, in my current state, I'm not taking my prescription properly. Memory lapses, fatigue, and migraines mean I often sleep through until the afternoon, missing my morning medication because I'm too ill to get up to take it. And without the ADHD medication, I lose the ability to manage my time, prioritise tasks, and set things into motion, so that even things like personal hygiene and household tasks become a great burden for me. I said at the beginning of this channel, the biggest challenge for me on BookTube would be beating my own disabilities and health. Actually having the time, the energy, the organisation and the impetus to create content. I did want to have scripted, detailed reviews up in October, as I said in a previous video. I have written a few of these reviews for a few books I've read so far, but I've just not had the time to properly record and edit them, so I've been pushing them back further and further. I'm not going to announce any future projects. I'm just going to do them and release them when they're done. That way I can't be missing any deadlines in future. I think this is the best way I can move forwards with this channel. If I announce things and don't produce them over and over, people are going to get fed up and they're going to stop watching the channel. Understandably so. Still, I would like to thank everyone who's subscribed and watched so far, the people in my Discord channel who have been there every day chatting, and the people who've been encouraging me in the community. It's been a hard realisation seeing my physical limitations manifest in something as simple and sedentary as reading. I didn't expect my disability to get in the way of reading a book. It's not been easy to take, but I need to accept that as a disabled man with a chronic illness, I simply can't do what most people do. I can't do what the huge booktubers do and read 50 to 100 pages a day every single day. It seems simple, it seems easy. 2 hours a day of reading. Read for an hour in the morning, read for an hour in the evening. You could meet that easily. And I'm effectively unemployed, so that should be doubly easy for me, right? Sadly, reality disagrees. However, I'm going to keep on going at my own pace, and hell, at least I know with my library of over 400 books currently at my disposal, I effectively have enough to keep me reading for the next 20 years at this rate. That's a nice thing to have, I suppose. I know I'll never be without a good book. Anyway, I'm going to go and try and get some reading in tonight, as I'm feeling a little better. I hope you all have fun with whatever you're reading, and hopefully some of you will join us in the Discord to chat. Until next time, thanks for watching.